So here's our example of dividing complex numbers. Let me scoot that up because we'll need a little bit of room for this. Okay, so it says divide 2 plus 5i by 4 minus I. So first I'm going to write it as a division problem. 2 plus 5i, and I'm dividing it by 4 minus I. Okay, so you might have questions about that. How do you know which one goes in the top and which one goes in the bottom? Well, we're dividing this number, so that would be the dividend, by what you're dividing it by, that would be the divisor. Okay? All right. So now it looks like that form that we showed in the other video. So we look at the denominator. We're going to multiply by the, let me put these in parentheses. We're going to multiply by the complex conjugate of the denominator, which is going to be 4 plus I. Okay, but we know how to multiply. It's just going to be some work. We're going to FOIL the numerator and have 8 plus 2i plus 20i plus, and I always just write it out, 5i squared, and then I'll simplify that later. So I'm just FOILing things out. I'm just making sure that everything's doing what it's supposed to do. Make sure I did that right. 2 times 4, yeah, 2i, and then 20i, and then 5i squared. Great. Now we're going to do the same thing in the denominator. Now, you know the middle term's going to drop out, so I don't know if you want to have faith in that and you want to just leave out the middle term, or if you want to see the whole FOILing. So I'll just show more so you can see it, but 16, right? And then you're going to have 4i, but then you're going to have the minus 4i, okay, and those are going to drop out, and then you're going to have minus I squared. Okay, so in the numerator, we're going to take this 8. Now at some point, we're going to think of that as a negative 5. I don't know when you want to think of that as a negative 5. I'll just do it right there. So 8 minus 5, that's going to be 3. And then I'm going to have these two terms that combine, which is going to give me 22i. Now, in the denominator, I'm going to have the 16, and then this minus I squared is actually going to become plus 1. So I'm going to have a 17 down in the denominator. These, the 4i and the minus 4i, those cancel out. Okay, now, there's one more thing we have to do, though. We want it written in a plus bi form. So we're going to write this as 3 over 17 plus 22 over 17i. Now you might say, well, why do we have to do that? You know, why couldn't we leave it the other way? Well, we want to see that a, and it's a real number, plus b is also a real number, I. So we want to see the real part and the imaginary part, okay? Now, you might have another question. I try to think of what your questions might be. If that fraction reduces, you're supposed to reduce it. Same with this one. If it reduces, you should reduce it, okay? All right, so that's how we do division with complex numbers.